What's going on, guys? Today's show is brought to you by the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped. Summer is coming, and our friends at Manscaped just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0 to complement your physique with a trim from the leaders in male grooming. Summer's coming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping using code RBP. Gentlemen, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. I'm surprised. I didn't know Jamie was going to be here.
I surprised everybody. I want a surprise guest.
You did surprise.
I have to. I replaced one UK guy with the other UK guy. It's just so you guys are all the same.
One tall fella for another tall fella.
Yeah, replace one tall guy with another with a taller,
an even taller guy.
Yeah.
trying to say this is an upgrade.
There's too many complaints. I saw the complaints in the comments about people not being able to understand Nathan's accent, so you got to get the giant on this head.
Yeah,
Well, they don't understand you either.
Well, we didn't replace you with Nathan because Nathan's black. We replaced you with Ben.
Yeah, but Ben's Asian.
Yeah, but they're both white. They both got tattoos. They're both tall.
Jamie's brown. Jamie's looking tanned as fuck from the Barbados.
He was just saying he's having trouble getting the protan off.
Oh, really?
Don't you find it's the worst part of bodybuilding? Because, we get looked at in public anyway.
Yeah.
Well, post-show, my God, it's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it. That's when women want to have sex with you most. It's true, though, isn't it?
What, when you have a tan?
Just after a show, when you're still lean, but you've got a good tan.
Yeah. Why? Why is that?
I don't know, but I remember going to King after my show, and like randomly, I was like tanned, and I had a vest on, and the woman behind the counter, I've never had this in my life before. The woman behind the counter was like, "I bet bodybuilders are good in bed," and I've never forgot that experience.
What'd she look like?
She was right. She was a pretty black lady, actually, and this was years ago.
Why is it? Black ladies seem to like the bigger men. I think so. Because I always got hit on a lot by black ladies a lot.
Don't know what it is. Just what it is, isn't it?
Is that racist?
No.
Don't you think that black men like the bigger girl as well? Black men like big white women.
Yes, a lot. Yeah. A lot of my associates like a big woman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you know what? We'll be able to put it to the test right now. Guy, do you get hit on by black women a lot?
Black women love white jack guys.
It's not white jack guys. They just like jack guys, period.
No.
I'm telling you. Because that's what I used to, most of my compliments came from black women.
I did actually get some compliments from the girls in Dunkin' Donuts in the airport saying, "Man, tell your wife she shouldn't let you out without her." She goes, "Where's your wife at?" I said, "She's at home." She says, she shouldn't let you out alone.
They give 0 fucks they give.
Yeah.
Well, do you think the white women think it too, but they just don't say it? Or do you think do you think black women just like bigger guys?
Black women like bigger guys because white women are like, ew, juice head.
Yeah, right? I think too.
100%.
I had the weirdest thing happen to me today in the post office, right? So I'm dropping off my COVID tests because I got a quarantine at home. So I took my COVID test to the post office, which is weird, right? You got to
quarantine, but you got to take the test. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. There's a little kid in there, I'm not joking, 7 years old, maybe 8. He says, "Oh, you've got big muscles." General comment. I was like, "Thanks, mate." The second thing that came out of his mouth was, "Do you put oil in your arms to make them bigger?"
Oh my God.
He's been doing some research on some SEO.
Yeah, he's been online fucking checking out.
7 years old. What kind of house does this kid grow up in?
Yeah. I don't
know.
He
might have a bodybuilding dad.
But you know why? I think it's because you see a lot of like in the mainstream, if we're talking about mainstream stuff, you see documentaries about like Greg Valentino, and you see stuff about like
Rich.
not that Greg did that. I know people are say he didn't, whatever. I don't know, but there's all those documentaries about, his is probably the most popular, the guy with the exploding arms. So I bet you like mainstream people see that and they see us and they think it's the same thing.
Who's that like Russian idiot that like constantly like blows his arms up against?
Yeah, there's a Brazilian guy too, I think, right? That Brazilian guy is like really skinny, but he's got like
huge tits, he's always dancing.
His pecs look like tits. They're just full of oil. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that people that aren't involved in bodybuilding in any way just equate us with them.
Mm-hmm.
We're all
this is why I always said, didn't I? I said that there's that like this argument, I can't remember what exactly it was, but I did say we're all tarnished with the same brush, and that's where people are misconstrued. They don't understand that bodybuilders are bodybuilders, and then there's others,
jackasses.
Yeah, man, and it's just a shame that the general public are unable to see beyond that.
Yeah. So, what's going on, Jamie? After you got back from your trip, how do you feel about the show? So you were, for those that didn't see the Puerto Rico standings, Jamie, I believe you were 9th.
Yeah. It was a show that when you was backstage, kind of said to myself, this is a deep lineup and everybody was in shape.
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing that backstage you kind of say to yourself, well, okay, my initial view of like top 3, top 6, man, I'd be happy with top 10. You couldn't not be happy with some form of placing above others because everyone was that good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the disappointing thing for me was that I've now been judged by Bill Sibilia, his name is, and just every time I've been judged by him, I felt like I've not been compared against people. I've just been pushed to the side. Where I know, because I've spoke to the athletes themselves, like Presty, we was having some good chats, and he was saying, "Man, your arms! I wish I had your arms." And even in person, I mean, I said, "I wish I had his fucking hamstring." Fucking hell, that thing dropped like a motherfucker.
It does, yeah, it does.
In person, my calves are bigger than Presty's, believe it or not. But because of the height thing, I'm always going to get fucking abused for the fact that I've got these calves that are long and whatever.
Yeah.
But long story short, the disappointment hasn't come from a placing. It's come from the fact that I didn't think I was compared to get the ability to give me to get a higher placing. Where I think I'm comparable against athletes from 4 or 5 to 9 or 10.
Yeah. So back in I want to say when I started, I don't know if it happened before I started, but I can speak from my own experience. So back in 2005, 2007, 8, 9, there was a kind of a thing where they wouldn't compare a lot of guys. They compared guys less. You would walk on and they'd be like, okay, we know who the top 5 are going to be. They would kind of put them there. And even though they were right, the guys who were 6, 7, 8 still want to be compared.
Yeah, of course.
You still want to see the photo afterwards of you standing next to that guy, so you can see where you were lacking, where you could be better, where you could change. So this is a thing back then, and I think a lot of the athletes started to complain, and so the judges said, "Fine, we're going to start fucking working you guys." And I think after 2010, they really started working everybody. If you see, I don't know, James, I remember I don't remember what show it was last year. You guys went around quite a bit. I think it was
Europa.
Yeah, the Europa. You guys went around and around a few times.
Yeah. Me, even Jamie, even everyone, they worked the whole show, didn't they, Jamie? They worked us all.
Yeah, and I noticed more times than not after 2010 that's been happening. But I think so, Jamie, what you're saying is maybe this is one odd show out where you just wanted to be compared more to the top 6, top 7.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would have liked to have been compared more. Just so.
I'll say this though, I think a lot of times they compare us to a lot of times for the audience, and there was nobody there.
Yeah,
but I think
I don't know, Jamie, about you, but when I walked on stage, I was like, where the fuck is everybody?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think and I don't want to tell any judges how to do their job. That obviously they know what they're doing, but it's kind of for the athletes too, right? Because if
I agree.
let's say they compare Jamie, you know, this athlete, whoever it is, has worked 16 weeks to get ready for a show. Even if they're going to lose to the 4th place guy, if I'm 8th, I still want to stand next to number 4 so that when I look at photos after, I can see, okay, he had bigger back, he had bigger chest, he had bigger arms, whatever it may be. That way I can go back and work on it.
It helps the athlete.
Yeah, it helps athlete. Plus it makes you feel better that, you know, I prepped for 4 months for this fucking thing. I would like to just be able to stand next to as many people as possible. That's my work. Like that's what I worked for, is to be compared, right?
So, I'll be honest with you. I know the top 3 was in a class of their own, but I stood next to Munsey. I beat Theo at the British, and at the British, Theo was in better shape. He was out of shape at this show. He looked big, but he was soft on the front. Didn't really have much detail in his quads. But
sorry, go ahead.
Theo came 6th. Yeah. Munsey came 5th. I've stood next to Munsey before. He was in better shape than he was last time, to be fair. But if you don't stand next to these guys, then people can't see. But I know myself that if I was stood next to them, I would have compared well. And it's that frustration that I'm on the fucking outside. Put me next to.
Do you think sometimes the judges are like, if 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are here, and there's no, like, I'm not in the judges' heads. Maybe the judges are like, I'm not going to compare 8th to 4th because it's not going to change my decision.
Yeah,
I think you're right, Guy. I think
that's what I honestly think.
I think a lot of times the judge goes, okay, well, this is the problem with that. Okay, so I'm going to play that out. So the judge says to himself, okay, I know, and just for argument's sake, Jamie, I know Presty is better than Jamie. So I don't need to compare them. I'm just going to put Presty in 4th.
Yeah.
The problem with that is it's like saying the New England Patriots are better than the Detroit Lions, so they don't even have to play the game.
Yeah.
Like you still have to play the game. Like
you can beat people in shows. Like you can turn things around with posing and comparing. That's the truth of it. Like I remember Romania 2 years ago, I was in 8th place in pre-judge, and I moved up to 5th in finals because I was allowed to be compared.
Yeah.
And you need to be allowed to be compared.
And that's kind of my point, is it's not that I don't think
set.
I'm not saying the judges were wrong, and I'm not saying even in the judges' heads, maybe they already knew what it was and maybe they were right. But I think they still got to play the game.
I think so.
You still got to play the game. Like if you have 2 fighters in the UFC and one's like a fucking champ and the one guy's not even ranked.
Yeah, that guy can still land a punch.
They could still got to fight, right? So it's like
everybody can get knocked out.
I just think just for the sake of the sport, it's good to work the guys too. I mean, guys like to, people in the audience and the fans, and you know what, the audience might have not been full, but people watching at home, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
Seeing
that
photos.
way, also you get what you consider a definitive answer as well, which makes you want this to be a sport. You want this to be a sport. Sport needs definitive answers because that's like specific on answers. I say it needs to be, if it's 1-0, it's got to be 1-0. And it's the same with the fucking bodybuilding. Like, if you want it to be a sport, you've got to compare people more so that someone's beating somebody.
Yeah.
Because then it grants it that gratification as a sport.
Yeah. So Jamie, you think the top 3 were in a class of their own, but because you've beaten or at least stood next to these other guys in 4th, 5th, 6th, you feel like you should have been compared more.
Yeah, and I think the main issue was, that we was talking on the podcast we had before, was you've got apples and oranges, and then you got a big banana.
Yeah.
The top 6, you could have drew a line across the heads. There was all the same height, similar proportions.
It's similar physiques. Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know what to do with that. And I think that's what, from what I've taken being judged by Bill 3 times, that is his mindset.
I don't know what to do with you.
That, so I'm just going to leave you at the side. That's how.
Yeah. Maybe you should stand further back on the stage. The scales, right?
Yeah, so
you look short. So you look shorter.
Just take like 5 steps back, Jamie, so you're in the same height as everyone else, the same silhouette. Then you'll probably look like as good as, like, even better than everyone else, and you'll win.
So who did you get compared with? What's the highest placing that you got compared with, Jamie?
I got paired with Martins, who came 7th. Rob, Strand.
Strand.
Did Martins and Strand get compared with? Did 6 and 7, or sorry, 7 and 8 get compared with 5 and 6?
To be fair, I was on stage at the same time as Presty and Theo as well. But I was, like I say, I was on the outside. And I think when you're on the outside, you're always fighting for the judge's attention. You're having to put yourself at an angle. You're never straight on with everyone.
Okay, but wait a minute, Jimmy. So you were in a call out with those guys.
Yeah.
But you just never got to stand next to them. So you wanted them to shuffle you around more.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's bodybuilding, right? So the judges have their opinion of where each athlete is, and I think that's why they base where they're going to have people stand during the show. But I do see your point. Now, so looking at it objectively, though, after seeing all the placings, after seeing everybody up there, do you think you were okay where you were, or do you think you could have moved up, or what do you think about that?
I think I could have been 5th through 10th.
I agree.
So, you know, nothing higher. I wouldn't have been shocked if I was. I would have been shocked if I was 4th, but I think 5th through 10th is cool. What it's made me realise is, I think at the size I am, which is still a little bit bigger than last year, I'm in a pack of athletes in this 3rd tier, let's say, what you spoke about before. And we're all fighting for scraps. We're all fighting for points for qualification. What I've come away from the show is knowing that, especially with my physique being taller, there's an element of extra mass that I do need to acquire before I stop scrapping and start closing the door on these people.
Yeah. I'll give you a scenario that Hani told me back in the day. He said to me, your legs need to be bigger. I'm like, my legs are big. He's like, they're not big. He's like, they're big, but not for your body. And I said, what does that mean? He goes, your shoulders are too wide. And I'll give you another example. Look at a good example is Justin Rodriguez. Justin Rodriguez has big legs, but because his shoulders are like barn door wide, his legs have to be even bigger to match his upper body. So what I'm saying is it's kind of like the same thing with you, is you put on mass, but because you're so tall, you still need that extra thickness in the upper body, I think, to really like be able to shut the door on these guys that you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
So another, you got to get to like, how heavy were you on stage?
I think I was like 293. I didn't actually take the scales with me.
Yeah.
But I think I was like 293.
Like before you left for the Caribbean, what were you?
Yeah, I was like 290 before I left.
Yeah.
Obviously, I put a lot.
It's like it's an unheard of weight, isn't it, on stage when you hit 290?
Like Megatron.
You're just like
Megatron.
it's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get on stage at 310.
Yeah, I mean, there's people obviously that's comment on the podcast before, like saying nothing less than 320, and I can see why. But one step at a time, right? 5 pounds at a time.
Yeah. We need some Increlex. That's what we need.
Have you considered taking a year off to like put on as much mass as possible?
This is saying we considered some Increlex.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that goes with it, right? He's both the year off plus the Increlex. He's back at 310.
The thought process after the show changed my views towards this whole year.
Okay.
Because I do know I need to put my size on. So the plan was Portugal, then Spain, then whatever we need to try and do to mop up some more points against Olympia. Yeah. Now, there's already some guys with some serious points. So that was like adding to this. Well, this year is probably now unachievable. So why don't we shut the door on this year, because we don't want to do what we did last year, which was extend our competitive season and end up with another small off season and back into prep.
Yeah.
But I spoke to Keone backstage. We didn't speak about this on the podcast, this is after. But Keone said, because I've qualified for the Arnold UK, that I'd be daft if I didn't do that show in terms of profile. And he feels that with it being a UK show, I'll potentially get judged fairer and move around. And because there's limited athletes in the Arnold, I think there's 10 of us.
Yeah, they're going to give you more comparisons. Yeah.
To work. So the plan is now have 3 weeks off, cycle, relax. Food's going to be staying at like 700 carbs a day. So there's enough food going in for some nice recovery, be nice and fresh, and then prep for the Arnolds and then hit a few of the back end shows, because there's Prague and Romania. If I do well at those 3 shows, I could potentially do what James did last year and qualify for the following year, and then have what James has had, this massive off season.
Yeah. Or you could you could at least earn points at those shows for the following year too, right?
Yeah.
So either way, it works.
I like the Prague show was one of my favorite I've ever done. It's a really nice show. That.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy that. I think they got a good payout as well. I think the Prague show used to be 40 grand for the winner.
Yeah, it's pretty decent, I think. But
Yeah.
James, are you kind of bummed out that you don't get to do the Arnold UK?
No, because if I was going to do an Arnold, not being like funny, I would have done the American one.
No, I know, but it's kind of like the first Arnold in the UK, and that you don't.
I'm like, I'm not bummed out at all.
Okay.
Like
I think everybody looked at the Arnold in Ohio as like
no. I know that. I know the Arnold Ohio is the Arnold.
I still think the UK one's amazing, and I think what they're doing by bringing it here, I respect Ian and everybody for doing it. But I'm kind of I'm setting my eyes very high. Like, and that's not me being. There's no arrogance to that at all. It's like I'm literally, unless it's a fucking like the Arnold or the Olympia, I'm not doing it because I'm at that point where I don't want to lose any stock. Like I said before,
yeah.
Like for me, it's all about business and stock. Like I don't want to go to a show and potentially lose some of the credibility I have that I've got running into such a show.
That's a real thing.
It's real. It's fucking real as fuck.
It's funny.
Business, bro.
I said that before. I think I said that to Hani. I think, or was it Chad? Who was training me? I think it was Hani. When I did the Flex Pro, and I did really well. The Arnold was around the corner because they were 2 weeks apart. And I had a contract negotiation coming up after that. And I said, I don't think I'm going to do the Arnold, man. And he's like, why? I'm like, my stock is super high right now. I'm like, if I do the Arnold and I fucking get my ass kicked, it just puts me back at zero.
Yeah, and I'm realistic. Listen, there's people doing the Arnold UK that can on the right day win. That aren't me if I don't get it right. Yeah, you know, you got Nathan, you got Jamie, you got there's some really good people. And it's only when things go right that you win. And I'm putting all my eggs into the Olympia. Well, that's why I didn't even apply for the Arnold this year, for either of them.
Yeah.
Like I have no doubt that I probably would have been able to do the Arnold Ohio this year. Yeah. Like, because I think I would have. I don't think they would have said no.
Yeah.
But because people have asked, they're like, why aren't you doing it? Because I didn't ask for an invite. Pat and me are like literally like fucking Olympia or nothing.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually hoping that other fuckers burn out from the Arnold and then I kick their ass at Olympia.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I'm shocked I'm actually shocked. I'm shocked at how many people are actually doing the Arnold.
Now I'm hoping all of them get fucking happy that night, gets fucking eat loads of fucking food, float out and fucking give up, and then I just fucking smoke them all at the Olympia.
So James, is your plan from now on, and this is actually interesting because I never thought of this. If you place in the top 5 at the Olympia, is your plan to like never do another show?
If that happened, I would only do the Olympia.
That's
and
what I was going to say.
I'll do the Arnold as well.
Do the Arnold too. Okay.
Yeah, because I'd love to do. I would love to do an Arnold because I do love that show. I've seen it. It's prestigious in my eyes. It's one of the best shows on the planet from what I've seen, and I would love to fucking win that. I think that'd be a bad show to win.
That's sad for me as a fan.
It is, but
because as a fan, like it's cool to see you. Like, let's picture me just Joe Blow fan.
Yeah.
It's cool to think of James showing up at some random show, like
of course, but what's
Chicago or something, right?
I'm not even being realistic here. Though. I'm just saying, like, in an ideal world, that would be what I'd do. But
yeah.
I'm probably gonna. Let's be honest. I'm probably gonna have to do some fucking other shows.
We'll see. We don't know.
But let's if it don't, I'll be fucking a happy man. But, yeah, like a New York Pro would be nice. Like, Guy, you've won that multiple times. I know that must have been a good feeling. That'd be a fucking good show to do, and hopefully one day win because it's up there. It's the 3rd highest show in the fucking world, isn't it? Really, beyond those top 2.
You know, it's one show I never did. There's one.
Really?
When people ask me about regrets in my career, it's not really a regret, but like the one thing I kind of wish I would have done is kind of wished I would have done New York. I never did it. I don't know if it was intimidation or if it just.
It's quite an intimidating show.
I think it's not intimidating. Like I'm scared because there's so many good guys. It's just a New York.
Yes, it's because you got New Jersey fuckers like him and all the New York people.
Wait, I offered to stay at my house.
I know, but I'm still shook. You lot all know each other and all like get on, and then I'm like some English dude comes over.
Yeah, you feel like you're gonna be out of place. See, Guy, it's a real thing when you're from a different when you're from a different country. It's different.
I have pictures on my phone. Me and James posing when he was still an amateur at when the Kings first opened.
It's not about that. It's not about him being friends with you. No, it's about the atmosphere in the show.
He's trying to say he'll make me feel welcome and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, most likely you would be fine. But
I did do New York. New York, and I got 8th.
Oh, you did do New York. When was that?
2019. Just after I got 3rd in Spain.
Didn't you?
That's when you said you were going to come here, and then I didn't hear from you.
Well, because he stayed at Evans. He stayed at Evans' house instead.
No, I was with. I don't think I heard from him either. I think fucking he was probably high or something.
He looked at the situation. He said Evan's more popular than Guy. I'm going to stay with Evan instead.
Real nice.
New York was
picking shows just like you're picking friends, huh, pal?
Yeah.
Well, well, when you got your 212, mate, and you're open bodybuilder, mate, like you're only can't be seen hanging around in my.
Is that why I'm the odd dog out on this fucking kitty podcast?
Yeah,
Guy,
but that was a good show, but it was fucking. I remember that was when Juan won, and that's the best Juan Moreau I've ever seen. I have to say.
Is that the Juan? Oh no, Juan didn't beat Rami.
Was that 15?
No, he beat Victor that year.
15.
He was good there.
Victor, that's who he beat. Yeah.
But this was his second win. He beat Akim, John De La Rosa, Louis.
Oh, that was in the city.
Yeah, and he looked good.
Yeah.
He was fucking huge.
Let's see if I can find it.
Pumping up backstage, I was like, fuck, what am I doing here? Yeah, that was a good Juan Moreau. Is Juan Moreau still going to compete or is he retired? Just out of curiosity.
I think
he must be chilling there. I'm not like trying to stare at him. He's chilling, and it looks like he's chilling. So I'm not trying to say you're retired. You're a friend.
He retired. He's done.
Cool. Yeah, he looks good there.
He's just eating too many cookies, isn't
he? He's won like fucking 8 shows, isn't he? It's about 7 or 8 shows.
Juan had a really good career, man. If he retires now, he's got nothing to prove.
Man, listen, if he has, he's got such good things going on with what he's doing with his wife. It's just fantastic.
No. But I mean, competitively, like he has.
It's amazing. Yeah, amazing.
He has zero to prove. He's done the Olympics.
He's won a couple of the Arnold shows. Then he won the South Africa one.
Yeah,
which is obviously
a great career.
New York Pro twice.
Brazil Arnold.
Guy, what's going on, man? Everybody wants to talk about your outing. That was a little bit of a disaster, and as we talked about on the last podcast, everybody misses the boat sometimes. So what happened?
Yeah, I haven't spoken. I'm interested. Sorry, Guy.
Missed it, man. I landed Thursday. I think you have the pictures from when I landed on Thursday. I sent them to you.
Yeah, with the sock on your dick.
Yeah, no, that's the one.
And your balls were in the sock.
Yeah, like a normal human being.
I always put my balls in.
Okay. We need to discuss the sock because something happened since our podcast that we'll let Guy talk and come back to the sock.
Okay, we'll come back to the sock.
My point is that you put your balls in the sock.
Okay, we'll come back to the sock. Just go on. So you landed Thursday. Then what?
I landed Thursday, and Thursday I won that show. Okay. Friday, woke up in the morning, and I'm not. I got to look at my journal and see what we did. But we started. We took I think a little diuretics maybe on Wednesday. Before either Tuesday or Wednesday, and then a little aldactone, and then I did a little diazide I think on Friday night, and then I woke up Saturday and I was just really fucking flat.
Yeah.
And what I should have been doing was eating based on what the scale was and what the decision that was made. Chris was like, we wanted to keep pulling, and Chris wasn't there. And a lot of times pictures maybe don't do you justice, and you think something or you see something, because I was looking at pictures literally going, what Chris was telling me he was looking at, I wasn't looking at on my phone. I'm like, I don't see what your set's telling me. He was like, you're full, you're peeled. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, do I either A, look like shit, or B, do I think I look like shit because I'm a day out from a show and this is what I owe to?
Yeah.
So then you want to listen to your coach. And then once we went on Saturday, and not that they didn't have me in the middle because there was only 4 of us. So it was me and him in the middle. But I just, when you just know something ain't right. Like I was flexing and I wasn't feeling any movement of anything that I was doing.
Yeah.
And I got off stage and I knew they wanted me harder. So I texted Chris. I go, dude, they want me harder. I go, something's not right. And I weighed 201. And math, this is where to me, it's not really science. To me, this is like a mathematical equation. If I'm normally 205, 206 when I compete, and my weight's 201, 202, the answer should never be more diuretics. The answer should automatically be food.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Sodium.
I don't know if what Chris was looking at, because it was different lighting, because it was pictures and it looked different, but he wanted me to go left. And I was like, I don't want to go left. I want to go right. So we just like weren't really in agreement as to what we should do. So
did you go left or right?
I didn't take any diuretics on Saturday. I was too,
because if you're already 201, more diuretics would have made you look even worse.
Well, in my head, I'm like, I know what that scale says, and I know 5 pounds ago what I looked like.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why I need to go down. I needed to go up.
Do you mind if I just take a quick minute just to explain to people that don't know
go ahead.
how it all works? So just this is probably going to be stupid for a lot of you that already know, but for those of you who don't know, so it's like a balloon that we're filling with glycogen, and if it's flat, you've taken some diuretics and it kind of takes some glycogen out of the muscle. Now the muscle looks flat and the skin is droopy, kind of.
And almost gives you a watery look.
It makes you look watery, but it's more because that balloon is if you took a water balloon and filled it full, it would be stretched, right? So it's kind of like that water balloon is now half flat and it's droopy looking. So the last thing you want to do is take more diuretics and empty that balloon even further, because now it's going to be even droopier and look even softer.
Yeah.
So what we want to do when that balloon is half full is fill it back with glycogen, which is, add more carbs, sodium, and fill that back out so that it stretches against the skin. So the problem Guy was having was he had that stretched full look. He took diuretics, it flattened him out. Flat meaning emptied the balloon a little bit.
When flat, you're taking glycogen out of it. You're pulling fluid from the muscle.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm trying to explain, because we use these terms sometimes on the show, and people message me and they're like, I don't know what flat means, I don't know what full means. So I'm just trying to explain kind of what that means.
Yeah.
So anyway, Guy decided instead of taking another diuretic and flattening that balloon out even further, he would eat instead and try and keep it full.
Do you know the really difficult part with when you're in that position is this? It's knowing, like, the food's not a problem. You got to eat a bit, but it's knowing how much fluid to take in.
Yeah.
Like, because I've noticed the difference with look. Normally, food when you do a certain amount, you can only eat a certain amount of food. Let's be honest. But fluids, you can have a lot of fluids or a little bit of fluids.
Yeah.
And it's knowing how much fluids you need in order to restore a certain level of fullness. Because obviously, per gram of glycogen, every gram of glycogen or whatever, you need like 4 fucking grams of water or some shit. Anyway, the ratios, that's the hardest part. Is you can go and eat as much as you like, but if there's no fluid transporting it, you won't actually get any fuller. You actually just get digestive issues. So knowing how much fucking fluid is the most difficult part. And that's where a good coach will know how much water you need to have.
I think just to clarify what you're saying, James, you're saying too much water can make you look softer.
Yeah.
No water will not actually transport the carbs to that balloon.
Yeah.
So you need to know the right amount to get that balloon to fill back up without the water spilling outside of it.
Exactly. And I think that's why
I ended up doing was I did no diuretics. I just said, screw it. I'm just not touching them. And then I ended up eating my meal. And then I felt like I should have had a burger and fries, but this was really late at night. So I added some dessert to my last meal for like more dense carbohydrates.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and I woke up in the morning and I was substantially harder. But the problem is like once you incorporate those diuretics, they don't just aldosterone, it's like that doesn't just stop working.
They keep going.
And I took Diazide that day too, earlier in the day. So like that was already in my system. So if I added more diuretics in, I would have had to eat a ridiculous amount of food. And I think it was around almost midnight where this conversation was going on, if I don't recall.
Yeah.
Because I've never been, and listen, I'm cleaning my bottle because it's disgusting. I apologize.
Can you not do that on the podcast?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to fill it up. I'm thirsty. So I don't.
I respect the real life hustle, the bodybuilding.
I gotta.
I'm Team Guy right now. If I need to go for a piss, you're gonna probably hear it.
I'll be done in 2 seconds. It just, you know, it is. It sat in my fridge when I was gone. I went to go drink from it, and there was a little mold on the thing. I was like,
I've made so many friends with
I like have to clean it because it's gross.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, what I've said to a lot of my clients in the past, I'm like, listen, everything we do is a fucking guessing game. Like, I don't, as a coach, I can't tell my clients, if you take this is 100% going to fucking work and you're going to look this way, or if you eat this is going to happen. It's Russian roulette. I think if you eat this, take this amount of diuretic and drink this water, in my head, I have a vision of what I think you're going to look like, but I don't know. So I don't get upset when things don't go the right way. But it was really frustrating that I was looking at something and not understanding what I thought it was a very simple like decision. It was
the equation was an easy one.
And when it turned out to be very difficult, I was like, man, like if we're not on the same page as far as like what we see, then there's going to be even more issues down the line. So we either have to get on the same page and figure it out together, or we figure something else out. You know, it's not like I've been with Chris since 2013. He's gotten it right many, many, many fucking times. It's not like, but we've also missed the mark a decent amount of times too. So it's like at 39, the issue becomes I don't have that many more rodeos to go. So I can't miss my mark ever ever again at 39.
Well, it's not only that, guy. At 39, I've been through this. At 39, your body is different than it was at 35 or 32, and hitting the mark is you have to. Difficult. Your muscle doesn't look the same at 39 as it looks at 29.
Yeah.
So if you want to win, you have to actually be 100%.
Yeah.
When you're 29, if you're like 95%, you still look awesome. You still look big and full and round. When you're 39 and you lose that fullness, it's like you look totally different. Yeah. You look totally different. So you need
I even knew it too. My tan, when my tan was going on, my tan wasn't, as soon as my tan started not going on right.
Yeah, when it doesn't stay.
It's like your pH and your body. I'm like, something is not like the tops of my thighs and like my shoulders and my arms were like lighter, and it wasn't. And I'm like, this is. And then what happens is, what do? As much as we try to fucking relax, we go down the rabbit hole of panic. And it's just, and that makes it work.
It's a cascade of shit at that point.
Yeah.
It starts spiraling down into, well, it's okay, man. You know what? It's one show. It's gone. You're getting ready for Tampa Bay now.
I mean, that's what I'm probably going to throw my hat into, to be honest.
Yeah. I think if you come back,
I'm not 100%, but I think, everybody's like, why don't you jump into Chicago? And my problem is that my weight was so low. Chicago's 2 weeks sooner. And I need my weight to come up and hold a little bit before it comes back down. And I feel like Chicago would be too fast of a zing. Well, I don't want to do that again.
And that's another thing at 39 years old that people have to consider is that up and down takes longer.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't jump back into things as fast as it did at 30.
Yeah.
So it's better to give yourself a little bit more time. So
I know I'm getting a lot of fucking hate. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to it, but people were literally DMing me. They're like, "Hey, you haven't posted anything. Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm in the fucking Bahamas. I'm trying to have fun and not worry."
Yeah, exactly. Thing is, I remember like when we did Romania, like I think you got top 5 still, and then a few weeks later, or whether it was, you did Niagara Falls and won. It's like that's the way it is. Bodybuilding. Sometimes you just gotta like play around things. Yeah,
that's bodybuilding.
How much of a difference do you guys think that having you coach there with you makes? Because I was talking to Justin Miller and Keone backstage, and then I started thinking about when you saw Matt with Nick.
Yeah, I think it helps.
I can say this: I've won shows with Chris at the show, and I've won shows with Chris nowhere near me on the other side of the country.
Did you notice any difference in how you felt?
I mean, there is a confidence factor when your coaches are looking at you, with his own 2 eyes. That I'm not going to sit here and say that.
I think it depends on the coach.
Isn't that priceless in itself, though? Like that feeling, just that feeling of confidence that you can get from your coach saying.
Yes.
But I think it depends on the coach, though, because some coaches some are
arseholes in the flesh.
No,
You see
it's not that they're assholes. It's just like Chad. Chad wasn't a talker, so Chad I could work with from far away. It didn't matter,
What's
right?
John like? John, I can imagine being good only up close, like in person.
John was really good in person, but I won a show without him there, and I won a show with him there.
But then again, like we said, the one that you did win with him there, was there any extra confidence?
Well, it was fun because we're friends, right? So
there's that as well.
It was more fun because my friend was there with me.
Yeah.
I think Hani is the biggest one that I point to when I think of a coach being there.
Yeah.
And Hani is like,
I didn't know you worked with Hani.
Yeah, for like three years. Yeah.
So how many shows did you win?
2 shows.
None with Hani though.
No, one of my best showings was Hani though. But I think with Hani, he was in my room every fucking 2 hours. Hey,
that's probably
that's
he'd be like, eat a meal. I'm gonna come back, and then I would eat a meal. He could be there half an hour later. Okay, let's pose. He would fuck off, eat a meal, come back. Okay, let's pose.
I know Chris is like that if he is there. When he is there, he's like that.
When Chris is there, he drills you.
Yeah. Okay, so before we move on, the sock situation. What's up, Jamie? Did your sock fall off in somebody's face or what?
No. So on the podcast with you, I said about not wearing a sock, didn't I?
Yeah, you said I don't need to wear one.
So I'm in the Bahamas.
Jamie, you're 293. If you have a sock just on your shaft, you're gonna pass, bro. At 293, that thing's probably halfway to your
when you're 6'6", is your dick actually bigger, or is it just the same as everybody else's, but you're just really tall?
I think I got a normal size, as the guy would say. Schmeckle. I got a normal size schmeckle. It's not a giant one. It's not a small one.
Is that weird? It's like normal, but you're fucking 6'6", and it's like the frame is bigger, so the thing is like.
He's probably a grower, not a shower.
I probably look smaller to the normal eye. So big.
Ratios are all off.
The ratios are off. Yeah. Okay. So what happened with the sock?
So the missus messages me. Obviously, the time difference. I'm fast asleep. And she's messaged me one night and said, I'm just listening to your podcast with Fouad.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
But then she's not said anything else. That's it. But when I'm back home and we're together, we just start having a conversation about something and she's gone, so do you wear a sock when you get tanned up?
Oh, shit.
I know she listens to the podcast. I'm like, well, no, because I'm just past it. I'm just like not bothered. They're there for business. I'm there for business. They're not looking at my bits, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well.
My bits.
Yeah. That's the British saying. You never heard that before?
It's so British.
I've heard of bits. I've heard of them called gear bits. I got a bunch of, do you need bits? I didn't ever heard of the fucking.
Yeah, man, that's a UK thing.
I've heard it, but not as
Okay, wait. So go on. So what happened?
So she's like, well, I don't really like the fact that another lady's looking at your piece right in front of her while she's tanning you up. I mean, that's what happened. My dick was tanned.
Oh shit! So when your wife saw it, she saw the. Oh no!
Yeah, She says you did.
Don't they tell you to move it every time with a sock on? They're like, all right, move it to the side.
Yeah, you're supposed to move it.
Then they tell you grab the other side and pull it to the other side.
So wait a second.
Like, what was it just like dangling?
So Jamie's just standing there like this, and they're spraying his cock. What?
Jamie put in a special request for that.
Yeah. So long story short is I've agreed that from now on I will wear a sock to just basically keep my wife happy.
No, wait. No, wait.
No, but now the important question comes.
No, Guy, wait a minute. Don't interrupt. So, Jamie, she sees your dick is tanned. How does the conversation go from there? What does she say?
So she's testing me because she knows I've said on the podcast that I don't wear a sock. But she's saying, why are you tan like? Do you tan with a sock or without? Because I would have thought you'd put a sock on, right? And I just go straight up like, no, I don't. I did before, but in the past. But now I've been doing it so many times. I just not bothered. I'm just there.
Such an easy way out.
Oh, you guys are getting like intimate, and you're naked, and she sees the tan on your dick, and now you're in a fight.
Kind of, yeah.
You know what, Jamie? All you had to say is that it was a fella that tanned your cock.
Yeah, there you go. You could have
It was a geezer that sprayed me up, but that's fine.
See, this is the issue in relationships with honesty. Relationships are built on honesty, but honesty always gets you in trouble. So as a guy, you want the easy way out, and you just end up saying
you need a couple of white lies.
I
think the little harmless lies are okay, man. I think I think they work.
The ones that protect you.
Yeah,
men do, but women don't.
yeah. So, we're talking about Chicago. I just wanted to quickly show you guys this. I don't know if you've seen it. It just went up today. I'm actually just blown away by this. So I just wanted to show you guys quick.
You're blown away good or blown away bad?
No, good. Look at this shit.
Oh yeah, he's freak.
Wow.
We love him. He's great.
Isn't this crazy?
He's great. We all know he's fucking fantastic. He's he's a phenom. He's not something that happens often.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't
you can't buy that shit.
I don't think I've ever seen proportions like this.
Yeah, these biceps are so fucking full. Look at that, like, yeah, it's gnarly. It's mad.
Does anybody know what he weighed last year?
He was light. He was only 178 last year or something. This year he's like 200.
Yeah, he looks bigger.
Yeah, he's much closer to the mark.
He's only 200 pounds.
Yeah, because he's 212, isn't he now?
Yeah, but you said he competed at 178 last year.
Yeah, something like it. Yeah, he's put up a post not long ago, didn't he? Saying
no, not at the Chicago Pro. He wasn't 178.
Well, he was not 200 pounds, put it that way. He's definitely heavier this year, like you say. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm pretending to know.
Wait, is this a throwback? Or is this what he looks like now?
That's now. That's him now.
It says hashtag throwback on the bottom.
Oh,
is it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it says 3 weeks until the new version.
Oh, mate, and we're fucking bumming this physique off. Imagine his new one.
Holy shit.
Shit, man. We were impressed by this. Oh, God. Give everyone a chance, mate. Cheers, mate.
That's incredible. Okay. So
cheers for the demotivation, Keone.
This is the newest one.
Oh, he's very full, isn't he?
He's obviously there, but fuck, I got totally tricked.
Yeah, that's the old one there. That picture that's from the back is the one I knew that he's talking about his weight being like 170 something.
Yeah, 178. Yeah, but this looks old. Like he looks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I was saying that's like a year or so ago, whether it was, maybe before. And then
he wasn't even 200 pounds last year when he competed.
Nope, from my understanding. But he looks massive. He's just got crazy muscle bellies. It's like air muscles where there's no weight to them. It's fucked up.
It's crazy.
He is mad.
Genetics, it's like the waist.
And the only way you're going to be a guy like that?
Conditioning?
Caucasion dry. It's the only way.
Yeah, but he looks dry there, dude. I don't know.
But Caucasion dry. Remember,
yeah, but he looks like he's
dry. He's dry. He's not. He's not Dorian Yates.
I know, but remember what we talked about, James. Remember we discussed if you get a black guy with black shape and has Caucasian.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Then you're fucked.
You're fucked.
Like, so who are we talking about? Ronnie?
Ronnie, that's Caucasian dry.
Ronnie's glutes and hams are Caucasian dry.
But who else?
There's not many.
Well, that's why Ronnie's the greatest. He had the Caucasian dryness.
So it's the balance of both, isn't it? It's the fucking.
Phil had the dry, peeled.
Phil. I would give Phil Caucasian dry all day.
Yeah.
Is Phil full?
His parents are both, I think, quite light skinned. I think he's like got two relatively light skinned parents, but I think they are full like black. I don't think they're half like mixed. Yeah, I don't think they're half anything.
I don't know.
Can you really?
He basically hasn't got one white parent. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't know what his heritage of his father is though, because on the Generation Irons, that's his stepfather, isn't it?
Mate, I don't know then. I don't know. But he's got the best of both. That's what I'm saying.
So Keone said that photo he was 202.
Oh, 202. Yeah, he wasn't 178 on
the photo. No. This is what James is talking about his previous. This is 178.
Yeah, I was talking about that.
As a classic guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that was.
Yeah, this is classic, I think.
He didn't write a date on it, so I didn't know.
This is 202.
So that's a 212 plus. Yeah.
And he said right now he's weighing 206.
Yes.
So he's 4 pounds heavier. I mean, 4 pounds 4 pounds on this frame is going to be fucking.
It's going to show a lot.
Yeah.
I love the separation in the thighs. It's the way it just goes right up into the hip. Just crazy.
I mean, I don't think he needs to be any bigger to win. Like
No.
to me, Keone in like
It's almost perfect.
Keone in 10 out of 10 shape is 212 Mr. Olympia.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's apples and oranges at that point. It's just going to be something very subtle, isn't it?
I just think if he's in like 100% condition, I don't think anybody can beat him.
I can fucking agree with that. I think he's fucking marvelous.
So
it's phenomenal.
It's just a genetic, like when you talk about genetics, it's
like, the shape.
Not that he doesn't work hard, because I've seen his training videos.
No, but you have to have the potential. You can only realize your potential. He has great potential.
Yeah. When I say genetics, I mean like the way the muscles insert, the proportions, the waist size, like everything is just fucking.
And guys, the only reason I say Caucasian dry is because I've got nothing on him, and I'm just trying to fucking somehow give myself credit, like for something that might be attainable at some point.
I'm shocked at how much Caucasian dry has caught on.
There's a lot of posts on Caucasian dry. I get tagged in a lot of pictures.
Everybody is saying the Caucasian dry now.
It's because we're not being offensive at all. Everyone that knows we're just.
Is that a new thing?
James said, "Oh, that's right, guy. You're on Bro Child. Actually, you're not.
You're not around enough, bro. You don't
so
no. But I've heard that before. Aceto used to say there's a difference between the two.
Yeah, but James made it really popular about a month ago because we were talking about black guys.
The differences
we were talking about the positives of everybody's ethnicity.
Yeah.
And we were saying black guys have really, really good shape. They always have really, really good shape. And then James said, but Caucasians are dry.
They got black.
They got the thinner, drier skin.
Like that seal skin. Aceto used to call it seal skin.
Yeah, we remember me and Luke we had Brandon on the podcast when we first did our podcast back in the day, and them two were just having jokes with each other.
Oh, the size game.
Yeah, and Luke was like sealskin curry, and they were just having a proper laugh between them.
Sealskin curry.
Yeah, Brandon didn't mind at all. He absolutely found it hilarious, and then he obviously went away and fucking turned it around. But yeah, that was a few years ago. That was hilarious.
That's a testament to Luke.
Yeah, and a testament to Brandon. And
but
how fucking cool he is as well.
Yeah,
two cool characters.
Very, very true. But I'm sorry to reminisce, but it's amazing. To reminisce, man. It's amazing to me. Luke could say anything to anybody,
and it's not offensive,
and always get away with it.
He's a shitbag.
Yeah,
absolute shitbag. Because any of us do it, we get in trouble.
He knew how to deliver it.
No, he said I remember the best one was he said to Craig Goliath. He said something about him being a Belland. He said he was a Belland or something like that.
And I bet Greg was like, "Oh yeah, I am."
No, Greg. I think he might have got offended at first.
Really?
And then Luke invited him on the podcast, so he came on the podcast with us, and they became best friends. Well, not best, but I mean they were like we all had a good laugh about it.
Yeah,
so it's like
exactly.
Yeah, he just had a way about him. Anyway.
Yeah, because listen, if someone calls me sealskin, I'm like, you fucking slag. That's this as a bodybuilder. I'm like, no. Fuck you.
All right, let's do some questions. There's a bunch here. Before we go on, actually, Chicago is how far away?
Quite a few miles from me, mate.
3 weeks.
Dude, that's a dad joke and a half.
It was a dad joke. I had to do that. Someone had to do that. Sorry.
How many weeks? Guy, are you looking it up?
Yeah.
It must be.
I think it's like 3 weeks, I think, or 4 maybe max.
Yeah, Portugal's.
Chicago's the 23rd, 24th of July.
Your girlfriend is the best.
I heard.
Yes.
Say hello, Sky and Jamie are here as well. You can't say it. They can't hear you say hello.
Hey, you. I can hear you.
They can hear you. You can say hello.
I said hello.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you because I have headphones on. Fuck. Just realized this. That's why.
So, James, you must have the same eating pattern because every podcast at 2:00, you get a meal.
Of course, I'm a fucking pro bodybuilder, mate. What do you expect?
Well, I don't eat at the same moment every day.
I don't.
Is that where I was going wrong? Is that where I was going wrong?
That's why you didn't quite reach your full potential.
So if I said Ian would disagree with you though.
Do you know what? Fuck Ian.
Fuck Ian. Jamie, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm the same as James. I have a routine. That's the same every day.
Well, I mean, I have a like. Listen, I usually my body wakes me up around the same time. I usually eat close to the same, but I don't have like it's
yeah, but you
2 o'clock.
You definitely used to. You definitely used to. Don't tell me you didn't.
Maybe I used to.
When you were on the stage competing and you were in your midst of your career, you were definitely eating at the same time every day.
Yeah, maybe I forget.
You've just forgotten what it's like to just chill now. Just chill.
I think I'm going to do a show. No, I'm just joking. No.
If you start eating, if the day you start eating on the podcast or during it, we know you're getting ready for something.
I will never eat on the podcast.
I know you don't like it, but
No, it's not.
No, he won't eat on a podcast, but he'll drink out of a 17-gallon fucking blender.
Well,
that's fucking okay. That's not a big.
Wait a minute, you guys are getting.
That's not a big deal.
He's the host. He's got to be available to speak throughout. He's got to keep the show running.
I'm going to take a minute to let you guys know what's in the Lawnmower 4.0 Performance Package. Okay, in the Performance Package, you get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goods. The trimmer is the 4th generation featuring cutting-edge ceramic blades to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof too. You can use it in the shower. Make sure you got easy cleanup. Use Manscaped's liquid formulas before heading out to make sure your balls smell good. Use the Crop Preserver ball deodorant to keep you on your game in the heat. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts with their performance package, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed travel bag. Guys, get 20% off and free shipping with code RBP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using code RBP. Hey,
someone's got to keep the momentum.
Fucking guy just jumps on me. Fuck. All right. So listen, it's not because I think it's wrong to eat on the podcast. It's wrong for me because I'm the fucking host.
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm eating and then everybody stops talking and I got a mouthful of food, what do?
We just talk over you like we always do.
You guys, it doesn't work like that, though.
Imagine if all 4 of us had mealtime at the same time, and the podcast was just 20 minutes of just.
And we're all eating rice cakes.
And you can hear this. And pepper grinders.
All right, so listen, so Chicago's. Let's just say it's 4 weeks. Who gives a shit? It's probably close. But we're talking.
I read the date off.
Oh, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
My gosh, bro.
I don't listen to you sometimes.
Memory of a fish.
World's biggest shocker. Thanks.
It is 4 weeks.
What do you want me to say to that? It's July. It's July
4 weeks, James.
23rd, 24th.
July 23rd, 24th. So
okay.
So 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So is Hunter's a front runner, right? Is that what we're saying?
One of.
Who's doing it now? Keane's not doing it.
But there's not. You can't say one of. There's one front runner. So who's is Hunter the front runner? There's not.
I feel like there's usually multiple front runners.
You can't have. There's a front runner.
Like 3.
No, but it's called a front runner for a reason. It's the one guy that's running in front.
I've never looked at it like that. Whenever everyone's asked me like who's the front runner, I'm like I spar off about 5 names.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
Now I know. I won't do that every game.
You just fill the entire track runners.
All right, so is Hunter the favorite to win? Let's put it that way.
All right, let me say so. Keane's not doing it.
Yeah. No, of course he's qualified.
Sergio's definitely not doing it.
And Hunter was 8th in Olympia.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that was like a thing.
I don't know anything about.
I'm just going through names of guys. So who is doing it? We know who's not.
Well, I was just going to say, so I'll run through the names I know. So Hunter, to me, is a front runner. Then you have
Rolly. He's doing Arnold.
So just one sec. So we have Hunter, we have Zach Merkel, Brett Wilkins, Charles Griffin. Is it Joe Mackey?
Yeah, Joe Mackey.
Joe Mackey. I'm sure Shaban's doing it.
Yeah, Shaban should do it.
I think that's going to be an interesting matchup.
Shaban and Hunter are going to be a good battle.
I was just going to say that. And you know what? It's funny because both of their weak points are their back. And I don't know if Hunter's brought his up yet, so please forgive me if he has. But his weak point last year was his back. And
he actually just posted a comparison today, I think.
Yeah, well, it was quite good.
Bicep, actually.
I know, but you know what? Hunter's back looked awesome last year in Instagram photos.
No, but he compared it side by side from last year to this year.
Oh, okay. I'm going to bring it up.
Like a just now, like a then to now.
Let's see what we think. We'll give a live assessment. There's a real close
up of his pores.
Oh yeah, there's some definite thickness there. Yeah, there's.
He's holding the post bear as well.
I was going to ask you, is it because he's leaning
It
back?
looks like his first pose, his arms are here, and his second one, his arms are here.
Well,
Yeah,
it looks like he's leaning back a little further here.
He's got more rotation in the elbow.
Yeah,
as well, which is obviously half the
got,
craft.
man, let me tell you something. He's got a beautiful structure.
1 second. So before we go on, you can actually see if you look at the rhomboids, you see a little bit of thickness here, for sure. And I think the lats definitely
come out more.
The lats are definitely thicker.
Yeah,
definitely his show to lose, isn't it? I think he's.
I don't know if I would go that far though, Jamie. I think Shaban is very impressive. I mean, he was close. I think Keone won that show, but I don't think people would have argued if it went the other way.
Well, am I right in thinking that Shaban went from 219 pounds last Olympia before that he qualified for, whatever it was, to 242?
Yeah, he was on my podcast. We talked about it. He put on 25 pounds or some shit.
You can see it. Yeah.
How old is he?
He's quite young, surely.
I forget what he said. I don't think I asked him his age. I believe he's like. I don't think he's
late 20s.
I think he's late 20s, early 30s. I don't think he's that old. What did you think, Jamie, when you saw Keone and Shaban standing next to each other in person? Was Keone like the clear-cut 100%, no doubt winner?
He was.
Okay.
And I tell you why, and it's very. This is why it's obviously very different in person to pictures, because I think even Hassan looked better conditioned in pictures than in real life.
Okay.
But Keone, for some reason, looked in worse condition on the photos than he was in real life.
Yeah, I said that to someone. I'm like, because I think that the darkness of his skin actually made him look softer in the photos.
Yeah, maybe. Because in real life, he was fucking hard.
Yeah, because I saw sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the best thing about him is Jordan JP messaged me and he's like, how big's Keone in real life then? Because he's obviously mad for the size.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what? His frame's quite small, but genetically, how thick and dense the muscle is, how small his waist is, and how the muscle hangs off him, just looks stupid.
Yeah.
Like I was stood at the back. I remember you saying you stood at the back at one Olympia and watched Phil. Yeah. Well, I was stood at the back, and I was watching him hit his rear double. So he's right in front of me, and his waist and his ratio for his lats, they just look insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from a bodybuilding aspect, again, it's going to come down to personal preference, but I had Keone winning the show all day.
Well, no. Listen, if you're saying his condition in person was as awesome as it was, there's no doubt you're right. It just, like you said, in photos, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
It was definitely 100% better condition from the back.
Yeah.
Than Shaban.
Yeah. So what do we think Shaban can push Hunter, or is it Hunter show to lose?
I think Shaban could definitely push Hunter.
He can push him. He's got an amazing physique, hasn't he? No doubt about it. I just think for me, whether it's like just like a personal favorite physique thing, and me liking Hunter more as a person and a physique, I can't see past that. But from a judgmental aspect, I think that he just flows nicer and it's more complete.
He's definitely more balanced, because I think Shaban's really heavy in the legs.
Yeah.
So I think Hunter's got a little bit more balance that way. But is there somebody that can come in that can upset the two of them?
Charles Griffin, if he comes in,
Charles Griffin looks like a monster in his photos, man, and his Instagram videos and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to remember, I remember when he got second one year.
Yeah, he got second to Michael Lockett.
He looked really good.
Yeah. Yeah, Charles Griffin could be a dangerous.
Where's Michael Lockett this year? Where's he fucking this year?
Michael Lockett wasn't there. Yeah.
He normally just comes along and just wins. He always wins, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
jelly babies this year. He's gone to town on the sweets.
Maybe he retired.
I don't know.
A
lot of guys are retiring. That crazy guy retired.
What happened to Nicholas Voyou? Also,
I have no idea.
I think it's Voyou.
I get it, because I think with bodybuilding, when you have a hiatus from the stage and your other energies pull you elsewhere, that's the easiest time to not want to do this anymore. No. Whereas if you stay involved heavily, then because bodybuilding, the more you stay involved, the easier it is to keep doing it. And I think that's one of them situations. COVID really hasn't helped certain people. Like him being in Europe, I think it really fucked him over.
Let me tell you something. He had one hell of an impressive fucking.
Oh, man.
James, what you just said is probably the most honest, truest thing you've said ever on this podcast. It's so crazy how right you are that once it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, when you're bodybuilding and you're earning your money bodybuilding, you feel like you have to keep bodybuilding.
Yes.
And it's just part of your daily routine and daily life.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, when you step away for a year or 2 or 3 or however many, and you learn that you can make money in other ways, maybe it doesn't seem as necessary.
Yeah.
Like, is that it? Like maybe Nicholas stepped away, maybe he's coaching, maybe he's doing something else, and he feels like maybe I don't have to compete anymore.
I think just having that amount of time away from the intensity of bodybuilding just allows you to see the world out there that isn't bodybuilding. And that world is a very, very beautiful thing when you have the eyes to see it. Because we don't have the eyes to see it when we're so heavily involved. We purposely put our blinkers on because bodybuilding requires that. But for someone that's almost forced to see it, it can open up your eyes to things that are just something you never expected. He's probably come across something or someone that has opened his eyes. And fair play to him.
Well, we keep ourselves in captivity is what we do.
We do. We fucking do.
This is going to sound, nah, I'm not even going to make the comparison. But so what you're saying basically is we're in this little bubble and all we see is the gym and the kitchen and whatever the fuck else.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we step outside that bubble for a minute, it's hard to get back in.
Yeah. The Dorian Yates bubble.
Yeah.
I would call it the Dorian Yates bubble. That's why he had a hard time when he retired.
You just described for me like
a lot of your life, probably previous years,
2018 to 2021. Because those 3 years, like from 2018, 19, 20, I meant to get back on stage. Yeah. And it was always injury or something that kept me away from it. But the longer I was away, the fucking harder it was to get back to the old me.
Harder it was to get back to the old you, the more okay it was with you not bodybuilding, because there's a difference.
No, it's both.
Because I still have a passion. I still have a passion for it, but like
you're always going to have a passion for it.
I know, but I just think like other things start to open up to you when you're not focused on this one thing, and then it becomes harder to shun those other things.
You can't shun them because they start becoming important.
Yeah. And
once they earn a certain gravity in your life, the weight of those becomes so much so that you can't actually then shift back.
Because it's almost like when you're 20, right? You don't know anything. You don't have anything.
You got fuck all to do.
I speak for myself anyway, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but you're all your focus and energy is like bodybuilding. And then you just stay in this little, it's almost like a prison. You're like, I'm going to stay in here.
Captivity.
Yeah, it is. It's captivity. You're right. I'm going to stay in here. I'm going to win shows. This is going to be my life. Everything I do and think and say is based on this little.
And if you don't fit in that bubble, then you're fucking gone.
But like James said, once you can't do it for a minute and you step out and you see this other life, it's almost harder to like ignore everything else that you were doing and put yourself back in captivity.
Yeah.
Do
you know what? Because the funny thing is, the cycle of bodybuilding is that we get into a show rut. We do a show and we do tell ourselves there's things I want to do after this show. And we always do it. We all do it. We're all like, yeah, I can't wait to go and see this place or do this or see these people. But then what we do is we come out the back end of the show, and before you know it, we pull ourselves back into whether it be a constructed off season or a show, and we lose that. We don't get to ever do that thing we said we were going to do.
James is so fucking right, man.
But
man, every time
I did Bahamas and I stayed an extra like 3 days because I was like, I'm going to go to the show. I feel confident I'm going to fucking win, and I'll enjoy myself for 3 days after the show. I go to the show, I get my ass kicked, and now I'm like, I'm stuck in the fucking Bahamas.
Yeah, it changes the whole perspective.
And my whole entire mentality was fucked.
You just want to go home.
Everybody, I get in the elevator, people that don't know, I'm covered in tan. Oh, did you compete this weekend? Yeah, how'd you do? I did all right. Oh, how'd you play? Second. Oh, that's good. No, it's not. Because in my head, I'm like, there's 4 guys in the show. It was an easy show. And then people were trying to cheer you up to make you feel better. But all you can think about is that you fucking let yourself down the whole time. So it's like everything else is ruined.
It's crazy.
That's why bodybuilding is so, it's an endurance sport, like because you can't win every time and you have to be able to get through the losses. Like all these things, the resonation of all these things is just so apparent. Like we've all been there. And the only thing that's going to make you feel better as a bodybuilder is by turning it around and getting a win.
Yes.
Which is mad, because then the cycle begins again.
Yeah.
The problem is you only get criticized once you start winning. Because once you start winning,
on the way up, it's great.
That's when the criticize comes. If you never win, You don't get criticized.
No, people are like, oh, you did fair play. Like, it's always fair play. When you're fucking coming up, it's like, nice. Yeah, he's getting better. But yeah, once you've won something, you've got a lot to lose.
Jamie, what did you say?
I was just going to say that to do it at the level that we do it, it consumes every single ounce of your being. And I mean, after the show, I was similar to Guy. Time to chill. Obviously, my headspace is a bit different to Guy's because my expectations weren't as high as his. But I was coming home and getting back into prep for Portugal, because Portugal now isn't on because of this 14-day quarantine when you go. It's not possible anyway. So having the chance to relax, step outside that bubble, spend time with the missus, it's just insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's actually emotional trying to describe how amazing it is.
An elation. It's an elation.
James, it's funny you said that about the stuff post show. You know how many times I remember specifically, because the first half of my career, I would always say that and I would never do it. So I got to a point like, I don't know, 2011, 2012, 2013, where I would get ready for a show and I would make notes in my phone. I'm like, okay, I'm going to write this shit down and I'm going to check it off after the show. So I make sure I do it. I would write down restaurants I want to go to, or vacations I was going to go on, or like people I wanted to see that I hadn't seen. After the show, I would take one day off and then I would be back in the gym. And
it
would all go to shit.
But you know what? That's why we've all had certain level of success.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, like as fucked up as that is, I don't think we would have the same success in bodybuilding itself without that mentality. Like, I think that, again, I'm going to say it's the Dorian Yates fucking bubble.
Yeah.
You don't get to be the best. You look at Jay Cutler, how he was. Like, you don't get to be the best by having vacations and having fun. That's just raw. It's just, it is what it is.
I agree with you, but I agree with you. And it also further emphasizes the point about what you're saying about Nicholas. Because he stepped outside of that bubble and started being able to visit people, or I don't know what is. Maybe I'll have him on the podcast. Nicholas, if you're watching,
I'd love to know more about that.
I'd love to have you on the podcast and talk about why. But who knows? Like you said, maybe he met somebody, maybe he just started hanging out with friends, maybe he got a job.
Absolutely anything. Yeah,
it could be a whole bunch of different reasons.
And whatever it is, it makes him happy.
Yeah.
And that's the fucking most important thing. And there will come a time where that probably happened to all of us.
Cutler called me after the show and we talked for like an hour and a half, and he was telling me, he was like, bro, he's like, when I competed, he's like, I didn't fucking do anything. He's like, I didn't leave my fucking house unless I went to the gym. He's like, I didn't go to the fucking food store. He's like, my meals were made. He was like, I was in my house all day. I slept, I ate, I went to the gym, I came home. He's like, I didn't do a fucking thing. He's like, because I had one goal. He's like, and I didn't give a fuck about anything else.
Can I say, it's funny you brought this up. You know, people say, I've watched two very popular YouTubers, Derek from More Plates, More Dates, and Greg Doucette did a podcast together. And they were talking about how shocked they were that bodybuilders didn't know anything. And which is a little offensive, I guess, but I don't really care about that. I guess
it comes with the territory.
It's fine. The thing is, we don't have to be pharmacologists and we don't have to be human kinetics fucking professors. The thing that you're talking about with Jay Cutler is what makes a bodybuilder a bodybuilder. It's not necessarily the skill. It's being able to learn what a bodybuilder learns what works for his body and is able to fucking repeat it every single day until he reaches a certain level. He doesn't have to know every mechanism of every fucking thing that you put in your body and how it fucking flows from one cell to another and bullshit.
And that's never been bodybuilding. If you think it is, it's wrong.
But if you know it, great.
No, definitely. There's an aspect. Look, if you know it, if you want to know it, if you want to read the textbooks and you want to be a scientist, awesome. But that's not bodybuilding. No. Bodybuilding is experimentation, is learning your body, learning what works for you. And that means physically and mentally, right? And then applying it with the utmost discipline for years on end to achieve a certain goal. It's not when I really want to stress to people when they look at a bodybuilder, don't assume that they know all the fucking science behind every single thing, that every mechanism in the body and every pharmacological thing we use. And that's not what bodybuilding is.
Can I add something to that as well? Like, most bodybuilders don't want to know everything, and that's why they exclude themselves from the outside world and bodybuild. So if we did want to know everything, we'd be the sort of people that go out there and are extrovert. We're not. We're introverts. And introverts don't want to know everything. Introverts want to follow a simple monk-like life existence. Yep. We want minimal things to have to focus on. And we want a perfect routine, and we want to just focus on that. We want to nail in on that. That's what we do. We're not out there trying to be the most fucking intelligent people on the planet. And we can happily admit it. If we were doing that, that'd be a totally different thing. But that is not what we are. We are simply trying to live a life that is simple to fucking juggle, simple to manage, that gives us peace, and is something that we can look in the years ahead from now and look back and say, I was disciplined. Well, and that's fucking it. We're not trying to be fucking anything more than that.
And that's bodybuilding at its root is discipline and experimentation. It's like this. It's like when you start, you're like, okay, this guy at the gym told me to eat 6 meals a day, chicken and rice. Okay, so I did it. I put on 5 pounds. Maybe if I eat 8 ounces of chicken, I'll put on another 5 pounds. So you increase. Maybe if I add some fats, I'll get better. So you increase. And that's how we learn our own bodies. We just make small changes year after year after year until we figure out what works for us. I don't know very many bodybuilders who decide they want to be bodybuilders and then they go and pick up a textbook and fucking read it from front to back and learn everything. That's not how bodybuilders become bodybuilders.
The only ones I know that know a lot.
Trial and error.
The only ones I know that know a lot, no disrespect to them, aren't the best actual bodybuilders.
Yeah.
They're good coaches and they're good fucking people. Yeah. But when it comes to the stage side of things, they ain't the ones winning the shows.
Because that's not.
You can't be everything, and because you can't be everything, you can't be everything. But that's the amount of fucking discipline and time and effort that bodybuilding at the highest level takes. You ain't got time to sit and read these fucking books and be Mr. Educated, because you're after time you're chomping meals down and fucking trying to rest.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
But okay, James, answer me this: even if you had the time, is your interest in learning molecular biology?
No, I thought none. I got zero.
Your interest is fucking training.
My interest is training. Yeah. My interest is how far can I take my own body with my own efforts. That's it. Okay.
So we just need to get to a point where when the public looks at us, we're not trying to say we're experts in all these things.
No.
And they shouldn't put that on us because we're not. When we do this podcast and I have people on the podcast, I literally tell people, this is my experience. This is what we did to get where we are. This is what. Absolutely. It's not a matter of do what I do or else you're an idiot. I'm just saying this is what I did to get where I am. This is what James did to get where he got.
The reason we do this is more about the honesty.
Yeah.
We're trying. Yeah.
We essentially run the plays that the coaches call. It's Absolutely. It's like a football team. Like we know the game. We know the do's and the don'ts. We know about drugs to an extent. We know about training, but we have somebody who calls our plays that we run. And if we feel we should call an audible at a time, because we know our body, we can call an audible and make it change if we need to. But the way I look at bodybuilding is no different than the way I look at playing football. My coach calls a play and I run the ball or whatever that I do on that play is where I go. If it's a pass play, I go for a pass. If I run the ball, I run the ball. If I get that's how I look at it.
Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. When you said that about Cutler, it really struck a chord because I'm like, bodybuilding at its essence is more about discipline than it is about smarts.
Absolutely.
If you have the discipline and to be consistent with a plan that works, you can be great if you're genetically made for it.
And can I always add something? Sorry, Jamie, you go first.
No, I was just going to say, James, probably similar to what you was going to say, is that is a skill in itself. Being able to do boring shit day after day after day. And that's what it's not for, but it's a skill. And unfortunately, for some people, bodybuilding isn't stimulating enough for the minds, so they have to learn the biology and everything else. But break it down to the bones, James is exactly right what he says. What we do, repeat the basics day after day after day, which isn't stimulating for people, is what the big people, the best bodybuilders are able to do.
That's what we do, yeah. And sorry, James, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the reason I personally bodybuild is because I am not academic, because I'm not someone who has strong academia. I'm not someone who learns well, and I'm not someone who absorbs knowledge very well. But one thing I am is someone that has a lot of fucking heart and effort and can put and live, repeat, and give something my all. So I've chose bodybuilding because I'm not going to make it in the world out there. So I had to make my own world. And bodybuilding provided me with a platform to make my own world without having to be considered academic.
Yeah, I mean, if we were academic, we'd probably be lawyers.
We'd be doing something else. So like, but that's what I'm saying. Don't mix like bodybuilding lately. Like it's looked upon like you say, people expect you to be almost a guru in your field. No, quite honestly, not. I walked into bodybuilding to get away from that. I walked into bodybuilding to get away from the complexities. I wanted the simplicities. I wanted the routine. Yeah. And that's what bodybuilding was to me, and it is to me now. I look at it, lovely.
Very good. Very good, James. I love it, man. That's a cute dog. How come everybody's got a fucking what kind of dog is that? It's
I don't even know. Is it a Frenchie as well?
A Frenchie?
Yeah.
Every bodybuilder has a Frenchie now. Is that like the thing?
I think like Jamie and Jordan and all that set off, didn't they?
We had two, and then one unfortunately passed away about
wasn't long, was it?
Months ago. Maybe I'm a bit out of timing, but just like completely.
Sorry to hear that, man.
We said we'd never get another one, but this one was kind of inherited. Basically, she was being sold, and she was going to be bred and bred and bred and bred because of the colour. Yeah. And me and my missus are like really against having dogs for just breeding. Yeah. So we actually just wanted to give her a good home.
Cool.
So all the guys on the podcast that are bigger than me have small dogs, and I'm the smallest guy on the podcast, and I have two mutants.
It says something though. It says something. You need the protection. You're making up. Remember, we talked about shortcomings. Remember, Guy, that's your short. You got a big dog.
Oh yeah, the 500-pound safe with guns and ammos in it is.
My wife just got home. Do you want to ask her about the sock?
No, I don't want to.
You should. I'm going to go to the loo while we got time.
I don't want to.
Let's go about the sock. Do it.
I don't want to start a domestic. Let's not talk about the sock.
First hand.
I'm glad we covered that, man.
James,
he's always in his underwear, dude. He's always in his underwear. I'm glad we covered that. Honestly, I'm glad we covered that because, and I'm going to keep stressing it every single time because there is no correlation between like book studies and fucking bodybuilding. It's just not the same thing.
You know, we're in the only sport where like, if a football team loses a game, everybody's like, "Fuck, my team lost." Like, God damn it, hope we win again. You look bad at a bodybuilding show. People are
no, that's not true. That's not true because there's a lot of shitty people out there that want you to lose because they're just shitty people. But we all have our good fans that when we lose are like, man, I hope he gets it next time.
Yeah.
We still have those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the same thing as like a normal sports team.
I don't know. I think
because there are people when Tom Brady loses, they're so happy. They're like, fuck that guy. I'm so happy he lost.
I think it's different when it's an individual sport.
Well, yeah, because it's all on you and there's not 16 other guys to fucking.
Exactly.
Yeah. 100%. There's no coach to blame.
Nobody points a finger at any. Everybody assumes this is all me.
It is you. I'm assuming it's you too.
I'm sure you are.
I realized something on this podcast, boys.
What?
You're the only one that wears underwear?
Well, yeah.
What kind of underwear are those?
Boxers.
No, I know, but what brand?
Non-branded, man. Non-branded.
No, non-branded. Yeah.
No, I noticed that me and you got the same headphones for.
Do we?
I think we do, look.
Turn sideways. Oh, we do. Great minds.
I actually think I have the same ones upstairs.
Well,
I have a podcast room. I'm just never in it.
Yeah. Why don't you use that room? That'd be cool to see.
Because that's for my podcast when I wanted to do better than Fouad's.
When is your podcast going out? Never? Is your podcast coming out in 20 never? Is that what's
my podcast came out? I did a couple episodes, jumped on with Fouad, and I have a podcast room with $1,000 equipment. I haven't used it once now.
Midlife stuff, bro. I do that. I buy shit. Just buy stuff, get kitted out. Love it.
Can I tell you how much gym equipment cost? Like the cable attachments for, your multi-station where you have your lap.
You got like prime ones or something?
No. I just bought regular run-of-the-mill
like black cables.
Just the cables, like the rope and the straight bar and the lat pull down, like just the actual attachments.
Oh, they're probably like fucking $100 each.
Like a lat pull down bar is like fucking $300.
Yeah, that's a lot. They're not over here. They don't cost that much here.
Well,
the prime ones are expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like regular ones are fucking cheap as chips over here.
I just bought
cheap as chips.
Cheap as
chips, mate.
Hey, why do British people say chips instead of fries?
Because the same reason why they say pop instead of soda.
You have fish and chips. You have fish and
Bananers instead of bananas.
They don't say Bananers. And they say banana. They don't say Bananers. Nobody.
Banana. I'll say banana.
Steve
Yeah.
Banana.
Fucking Ben said Bananers.
No, he didn't.
Like,
Yeah, but he's weird. Yeah, but Ben's got like a really fucked up kind of dialect. It's really weird.
It's because he's half Asian.
He's like blended between everyone now.
he's a quarter pirate.
He's called pirate. But yeah, no, we say fish because we have fish and chips, don't we? It's a British dish. So yeah.
Fish and chips.
Chips are chunky fries. Chunky chips, if they're thin, we don't call them chips. We call them fries.
I've had a few of my American clients, to be honest, ask me,
Start eating crisps.
what do you mean have burger and chips? As you ask me.
I'm gonna have a bag of Doritos.
They would.
Like 5%
Subway.
low-fat chips, and they're like, oh, funny's in the store, man. What are you on about? Oh, fries, fucking hell.
I've been having a chip fucking. I'm going through like this chips phase lately. I
don't blame you. Don't blame you.
I can't stay away from Doritos.
What flavor?
The problem is with that stuff, if I open a bag, the bag's gone.
Yeah.
I won't just have a couple of chips and put it away. The bag's going.
And it's never a small bag. It's always the family size.
Yeah.
What flavor you chaps into?
Any flavor Doritos, but mainly like ketchup, Cool Ranch.
Ew. Ketchup?
What do you mean, ew?
Ew.
Ketchup's delicious.
Your fucking palate is disgusting.
I didn't even know they did a ketchup.
Neither did I. You had all these fucking Doritos.
It's a Canadian
He
thing.
lands on fucking ketchup.
Canada.
It's Canadian thing. No, but so probably my favorite, obviously, I go to is Cool Ranch. But
whatever that is.
You don't know Cool Ranch?
Ranch dressing. Is that like a ranch dressing?
It is. It's like a ranch dressing.
And nacho cheese, but I thought would be your two tops.
No, Cool Ranch. I like the fucking Doritos dill pickle is fucking awesome.
I bet that's good. I like dill pickles. I like pickles.
Nice.
What's wrong with you, guy? You don't like anything good.
I like pickles. I honestly, I've never heard of the flavors coming out of your mouth.
Because you're not a food person. I like really shitty food. So
really
I find all the
they
Are you
rare
the guy that goes like the Oreo cookie aisle and like finds like the weird flavors?
No, that's Paul. Paul's the cookie. Like he fucking.
He's the cookie guy.
He is all.
So you just like shit snacks.
When it comes to cookies, I'm pretty basic. Like chocolate chip or like double chocolate, and that's good for me.
Okay.
I like
Maybe oatmeal raisin cookies good.
So what's your junk? You like just chips?
Probably chips and ice cream are my go-tos. Yeah.
Jamie, what's your go-to?
I like M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms. The missus has actually just shown me a bag.
Dude.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, but they give me a stomachache every time because I can't stop eating them.
Yeah,
you're probably allergic to nuts. You're eating them.
Maybe you're allergic to being fat. Maybe.
Gastric distress.
Jamie, what were you going to say? It's fine with you?
I was just saying, I'm the same with ice cream. Ice cream hits my stomach and it's like, I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah, no, ice cream makes me shit water. It does. It really does. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth doing it. The next morning, if I have ice cream at night, the next morning, my first turd is going to be pretty much just fucking water.
But it's funny that it's worth it. It's like
it's absolutely worth it.
He's spraying cement in your toilet bowl.
Literally. Love it.
What's your go-to guy? You're Ben and Jerry's, isn't it?
I like cookies, bro.
You're the cookies guy? So
I get hammered down like Girl Scout cookies. Forget it. My cookie dealer cookies. Forget it.
Yeah.
So for snacks, I'm chips and ice cream. For food, and pizza.
Pizza I had last night.
Jamie, how many pizzas have you eaten since the show?
Probably about 5.
Jamie's a pizza guy.
Maybe more.
What you weigh, Jamie? How much you weigh now?
To be honest with you, this morning I was like 302, so not massive jump, but midday I put like 310.
10 pounds of pizza.
Yeah, I've had 4 pizzas so far, but I think one's on the card tonight, to be fair, because I had my new dumbbells for my gym arrived today.
Yeah.
And I'm up like 2 flights of stairs. Thank God I'm on a diet break because that would have wrote me off. And I've gone from 5 kilos to 70.
Yeah.
And this guy's dropped them on the first ground floor.
You gotta carry them up?
I got to carry all of them up. No one was
Wait a minute. Why are you putting your dumbbells on the second floor?
His gym's on the second floor.
That's where the gym is.
What are you gonna do about dropping dumbbells and shit?
So
it's like
reinforced.
I don't know if it would make sense, but it's like an old industrial mill building in the UK. So
so downstairs is nothing. No. I'm not worried about you breaking the floor. I'm worried about what's below you.
It's like a workshop. So it's
okay.
Yeah, they don't mind a bit of dust.
No, because there was a gym here in Windsor where they had it was actually a nicely equipped gym on the second floor. Yeah. But you could never drop any dumbbells or do anything and make any noise because there was like a clothing store beneath.
There's a library below. Like,
There was a Gold's Gym in Florida, in Orlando, that I would train at when I was dating the girl that from Florida. And upstairs was the Gold's, and below it was a Burlington coat factory.
Yeah, you can't.
And
do
you would get screamed at when you drop dumbbells.
yeah, that's
Because it would like cause problems downstairs, and I'm like, you should have put the gym on the bottom floor, you idiot.
Yeah, you can't do that. So, like, Jamie, what kind of dumbbells did you get?
I got. Do you know the Watson ones that are stainless steel?
Dude, those are fucking awesome.
They're expensive as well.
There's a company in the UK that make them. They look exactly the same, but they're literally half the price.
Oh, that's great.
So 5 kilo to 70.
That must be about 5-6
so
grand.
Wait a minute. Are they steel?
Yeah, stainless steel.
Oh, the stainless steel. Okay.
Look, he's like, give me the link.
No, because I worried if they're steel, they're gonna rust. But if they're stainless steel, then you're okay.
Yeah, they look really good, and they've got my
initials
logo on the side, so obviously you could have your Hostile logo imprinted on them.
Please have a look at the picture.
Here we go. This podcast just turned into a fucking buying spree now.
Just calm down. Just calm down.
On Google.
Jamie, you really had a good year. You're talking about fucking Rolexes and Watson dumbbells.
I need to come up for a session, Jamie. It's been a while.
Well, this goes back to our ability to progress.
So
it's simple.
Are these them?
That's similar to that, yeah, basically.
Similar? Yeah, those are nice.
Look at the one below with the British little, like the Watson, yeah. There's an old Primal, yeah.
Jamie, they got the big handles.
Yeah, they're not like super big though.
I don't like a thick handle. I like a thinner.
Do they rotate like the ones at MI40?
No, they're stiff.
I can't do rotating handles, man.
I hated that.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I couldn't afford those. I got the polyurethane ones.
Yeah.
Like just the black, like kind of rubber. I guess it's rubber. It's
not rubber.
It's polyurethane.
Just to give you some context, I think what I've got would have cost me about 20,000
pounds.
Yeah.
And they cost me $7,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you paid like the same amount because I paid about 15,000 American for my dumbbells.
Yeah. Yeah.
They go from 5 pounds to 150 pounds, which is 70 kilos about.
Yeah. Watsons are expensive. I remember when we got them for my old gym, they were £16,000 for this set.
Yeah.
They've actually inflated. They've gone up $4,000. You're paying more than we did. And it's the same amount of dumbbells from the sounds of it. They fucked you over there. They tried to fuck you over there. Like, good job you didn't get Watsons.
Yeah, the guy said to me today, to be fair, he says Watson, they're like not happy with him because
fuck them.
I don't know, a shitload of these dumbbells.
Because they've copied them.
Hey, it's a bit of metal. What the fuck? Who can tell you not to make a bit of metal?
That's right.
Like a fucking dining chair. How many dining chairs look the same? You know.
Yeah.
It's not a patent.
Can't really trademark a fucking dumbbell. They've been around for fucking how many years?
Just you pay for them, aren't you? It's like
if you want a Watson, you pay for the name. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
You guys want to answer a couple questions before we go?
Yeah. I'm off now.
Just gonna blow my nose.
Favorite soda pop?
You've got COVID.
Favorite soda or pop? Same thing.
Diet A&W or Diet Cream. Diet
A&W root beer?
Yeah, or Diet A&W cream.
These guys got some weird drinks over there, Jamie. We don't know about it.
Fucking cherry Pepsi Max, nice and simple.
That's all you guys got over there. That's why you guys got no fucking diet flavors. It sucks. It's either
it's because we're not all fat fucks.
What?
Yeah,
we're not all fat fucks anymore.
When you have these flavored diet sodas, you can never taste the fucking thing. Anyway, I got like diet lime, diet lemon. Where's the?
I got Diet Sunkiss and Diet Dr Pepper cream in my fucking.
Wait a minute, Jamie. Are you saying you don't like diet drinks? Is that why?
I do like diet drinks, but I find that a lot of them, they don't really taste like what they say.
They're shit.
Maybe that's my taste, but
I can't drink a regular pop. It's just too sweet.
Yeah,
it's too sweet.
Diet is definitely the go-to.
I'm gonna be the boring one. I just don't like a fucking Pepsi Zero or Coke Zero. Coke Zero.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that.
I'm good with just a cola, man, and a pizza. Give me a cola on ice.
Sprite.
I'll take a fountain soda over a can any day.
Fountain soda is yes.
Never fucking heard of it.
It tastes different, and I like it.
What did you say, James?
Never fucking heard of it. What's that?
No, like from the fountain at a restaurant.
From the thing when you get it.
From a machine, yeah. So like self-serve.
Yeah, it's called fountain pop.
What do we call that here, Jamie? We call that a fucking. What do we call it? From the tap.
No.
Go to the machine, the Coke machine.
Yeah.
The Coke machine.
They're always watered down. They're always watered down here. They're really watery. You get a drink like that from here, it's like 70% water.
Oh, because they don't put enough syrup. They put
it's being cheap asses. They're trying to fucking undercut.
Yeah. I was going to ask a question for Ed about pizza. Obviously, on the side, do you have a side of sauce or no sauce?
If I'm going full fat fuck, I got a side of sauce. I got like a side of ranch or marinara, and then I'm dipping my crust.
I like sour cream.
I think
sour cream works.
I think it's a New Jersey thing, because when I went to New Jersey when I was coached by Phil was like, "What?
No sauce
with your pizza?" And he couldn't believe that I dipped my pizza in sauce. And I was like,
but wait a minute, are you dipping the pizza or the crust?
The crust.
I'm only dipping the crust.
Like a bit of dippage with the pizza, and then get to the crust, and I'm double dipping that fucker as well.
It's not a fucking French fry.
I'm more into the crust dip. I do think the crust dip is necessary.
Yeah,
I don't like the actual pizza itself.
Fry is a slice of pizza. What are you doing?
I'm good with the pizza with no dip, but when I get to the crust, I save them all. And if I'm going like full fat fuck, then I dip them all in something after. Yeah,
I don't normally need any sauce on the pizza because I've barbecue.
Ketchup, Doritos, extra ranch.
People should know the magnitude of what our cheats are really like. We don't want to lie to people, guy. You need to know. They need to know the truth.
I can't have sauce. I can't dip the pizza because I always have the Texas barbecue, which is really barbecuey. So yeah, I can only dip the crust.
Yeah.
Because this is too much sauce. That'd be too much sauce.
Wait a minute.
I get a margarita pie.
Wait a minute. James, you have the Texas barbecue to dip in?
The base. So my pizza's barbecue base.
You don't have fucking pasta sauce or pizza sauce?
Barbecue base.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
No, it's the best fucking pizza you can get.
You shouldn't even call it pizza because that's zero Italian. So just
that's not Italian at all.
It's chicken.
You're pretty much having a open sandwich.
Listen, I'm not trying to please any Italians around here. I'm trying to please my appetite.
So wait a minute, you don't like pizza sauce, or you just like the
barbecue sauce
better?
I love it, but the barbecue sauce just hits the mark, man. When you get that tangy barbecue, it's so good.
Now I got to try that. The
barbecue, it'll be barbecue. It'll have chicken on it and it'll have peppers.
But that sounds so healthy. It's like it's not even a cheat.
No, but I do put some mushrooms on there, and I do like some olives as well.
Oh, the mushrooms make it a cheat.
I actually like sweet corn on my pizza as well.
Sweet corn?
Yeah.
Okay, so
you just order Thanksgiving dinner.
I know. I was just gonna say you ordered it's like chicken, corn.
I just get a double pepperoni.
Oh, bodybuilder! What can I say?
Barbecue sauce base.
Really?
So pepperoni in the barbecue.
You guys need to try this base. You should try barbecue base. It's good.
You should try real pizza and start there and have that as your base.
I've had real pizza. But Louis, my training partner, is Italian, like you. So he's always going on about me about fucking pizzas. But I don't know, they're just not the same. I like a shit pizza.
I don't even know.
If you came to Jersey when I invited you 5 times, I would have taken you to a pizza place.
Listen, bro, you turned your phone off.
I don't even know where I would order a barbecue pizza from. I don't even know where the fuck
they have. They have
everywhere.
They have barbecue chicken pizza plate, like special slices.
I'm trying to think of where in Windsor I would get that.
Just ask.
Yeah.
Do you ever get Domino's? I know Domino's is probably like a bit.
I don't order Domino's, but I will if I have to get the barbecue.
You will have to do it.
That ain't pizza.
No, it's not. It's fast food pizza.
I like fast food pizza though. That's what I like.
Yeah,
but the real
where do you order your pizza from?
I don't mind a Domino's. I don't mind a Domino's.
The barbecue chicken one?
Yeah.
There you go, Fouad.
Well, I'll have to try it maybe tonight.
I feel like such a slob after. When I'm eating pizza, I'm literally like laying down on my side, greasy. Like, why is it? Yeah, because why is it when you have a pizza, you don't? It doesn't. You feel like you can just. You feel like you're allowed to be like this.
Dude, it's so true. I put like a bunch of pillows on my side.
Yeah.
I like leave
arm up like this.
Just like,
out of the box.
Out of the box. Out of the box. I got the whole box sitting there.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
Sweating your fucking bollocks off.
No, I usually have a fan, James.
I don't.
I usually have a fan somewhere over here to keep me cool, so I can enjoy my food.
Are you trying to suggest that eating the pizza out of the box isn't completely normal?
No, it's not.
Yeah, see, we out of the box here. We do out of the box here.
I do.
Get a pizza from a shop in a box.
We eat on the go.
Pizza on a plate.
Yeah, I know, but Jamie, most people order a large pizza and they share it with like 3 other people. So they put it on.
If I do that, I'm ordering 2 pizzas and cutting the top of the box and going, "That's your plate. This is my plate."
Yeah.
Listen,
if I'm doing that, I'm ordering one for me and then one for everybody else.
I go until the box grease makes the box turn to mush. You know, like where there's so much oil coming out of that pizza.
Is that much grease on your fucking pizza?
Fucking Domino's there is. There is with Domino's.
The famous last words of a new relationship. I'll just have a bit of yours.
Oh yeah.
That's the end of the relationship there.
Not when it comes to pizza. No.
Then my next topic is going to be fucking your middle finger.
All right, let's move on. How often do you wash your sheets?
I don't know.
Every week, once a week.
I think once a week is pretty standard.
I'm going to call out. Sorry, guys. Yannicka, how often do you wash the sheets? How often do you wash the bed sheets? Just wondering. At least once a week. Yeah, at least once a week.
All right. Jamie?
I think we're probably once a fortnight, to be fair.
What's a fortnight?
Every other week.
Yeah.
Fortnight is every other week.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah. Give Fouad a tip.
What? A
towel tip.
A towel tip.
You always keep a shower towel.
Yeah.
And a face towel.
Yeah, he knows that now, surely.
And then you wash the face towel like every 3 days.
Yeah, but then have one.
And your shower towel every week.
All right. So you can use the face towel.
Just to wipe your face.
But why are you washing the face towel more often than the bottom towel?
Because you want to keep it clean, otherwise you've got a spotted face.
But the bottom towel's got your bollocks and vagina and fucking arsehole on it, so it needs to be cleaned more often, surely. Huh?
Yeah, but you clean. If you clean every 5 days.
Yeah, but then why am I cleaning the face towel more often? The face isn't as dirty as the bum.
No, but you don't want to get a spotted face.
Oh, you got it wrong, Rach. I think it's the other way around. You got it wrong.
I absolutely love her.
I know, she's great.
But that solves Nathan's issue that you wipe your ass and then put it in your face because you have 2 separate towels.
That's why Nathan keeps getting a bad eye. Nathan.
You need a face towel.
That's why I fucking sussed it out now.
Okay.
Cool. We good now.
But I wash your bed sheets every other day.
Yeah, cool. That's nice. Don't tell everyone.
Because you sweat.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yannicka.
Oh, yeah.
Rate my physique. All right, let's rate a physique, and then we'll go.
I'll go last. Let me just go for a quick wee, and I'll jump in.
Yeah, go. Okay, let's see.
Gets up like he's 84. See how he moved?
He's 6'6", man. Give him a break. I wonder what it's like to be that.
He's like, just go for a piss. oh, bastard.
Okay. Five Guys Frank.
Huh?
This guy likes. I'm assuming he likes Five Guys a lot.
I think so too.
Oh, he's good.
But he's got like a proper fucking Austrian jawline. Look at that.
Great.
Oh yeah, he's definitely European.
He's Austrian as fuck. I hope he is.
He's Austrian as fuck.
He looks like Wesley Viz's like jawline.
Yeah.
Is this Wesley Viz's brother?
He's got an Arnold look to him.
He's got the hair. He looks good though. He's fucking shredded. Look at his quads.
Condition's good. I think
a little more leg.
Yeah, he need more leg. I mean, obviously,
yeah.
He probably knows that already.
The one thing I will say, the man knows how to diet.
Yeah, he's shredded.
And that's a hard trait to fucking get.
Let's see. How shredded is he? Yeah,
he's pretty fucking.
See, this is the thing though. I feel like he's a little flat. You see how that's like shredded, but there's a little bit of like.
Yeah, but he also could not have enough glutes because I got clients that have small asses and just no matter what they don't get.
He's got quite a small bum.
Yeah, he's got a small ass.
Yeah,
delts
you know, flat there.
No, delts look pretty good. His delts are like popping on that side shot there. Look, holds that well. He's presenting himself well, for like the structure. He's quite square, but
that's a good transformation.
That's very good.
Good amount of muscle put on there.
It's got pretty good calves, to be fair.
Bastard.
So,
man, I think he's doing good with the structure he has.
I mean, if we're being honest,
he's British, isn't he?
He's a little thin.
We'll go with this one. If we're being 100% honest, he definitely needs more muscle in the limbs.
Yeah.
Because he's got a big rib cage.
Yes. Fill that out. Fill those.
Back and shoulders are pretty good. If he brought up
his legs, his ass.
if he brought up his legs, his whole lower body to match his, it's really his legs and arms. I think his chest, back, and shoulders are pretty good.
Shoulders are very impressive, I think.
Yeah. He just needs more limbs.
Oh, well, I want to rate somebody on here too.
Okay,
I always feel like I would as well. I've got my mate I was with today who's got a good physique, and he's
okay. So let's give this guy a number and we'll move on.
I'm gonna say I would put him. I'm gonna give him a 7.5.
Yeah, I think like that 2.5 is where he can go. He can get up. Definitely.
I think if his upper body was bigger, he'd be in like an 8.5, 9. I mean, his lower body. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a bit more quad sweep and stuff just to match a little bit. Yeah, I think he's really good. I think he's going to be given 2 years. He's going to look really good.
He could even be an 8, to be honest with you.
Jamie, what do you think?
I'm going to give him a strong 7, based on the definition of the legs for me. I think he could be more detail in the legs, but I think that'll come with time.
Well, there's another shot, Jamie. Show Jamie the shot with his...
the front shot.
There's a lot of detail here. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think more thickness in those quads.
Yeah. I'm actually in the same boat as Jamie. I'm going to go 7 also.
Okay.
It's not his. Basically, what I'm looking at is somebody with very good conditioning, and pretty good structure, but really needs to fill it all out, which is the hardest. It's the hardest part.
Yeah.
So it's going to take him time to fill these legs out and arms. So I think between 7 and 7.5 is fair.
Awesome.
Okay. Who do you got? Who do you got, James?
No, Guy. Go Guy, because I want to see.
Guy, who do you got?
It's Billy. I'm checking, looking him up. It's Billy. I think it's Billy G Fit. Yeah, Billy G _fit.
Got it.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, Billy G Fit. Where we got in the photo? Oh, here's some photos.
Oh, yeah.
Off-season photos, so we can't really tell what he looks like. But I immediately go to back and chest.
It's one of them weird angles where it makes your legs look really short.
Let me see if I can find a competition photo. Guy, do you know this guy?
Yeah.
Okay. You should have told him to post some competition photos so we could see what he actually looks like.
There you go.
So I can't tell too much from there, but legs look pretty good. Here's another one. It's pretty balanced.
Just more. That's the transformation, is it, as well? He's gone from being. From being. That's pretty impressive. From
physique to bodybuilding. Here's
I thought he just recently competed.
He hasn't put up any pictures yet, it looks like. He's 19.
He's definitely balanced. Good leg, good side of the leg anyway.
There was no recent ones?
Let me go back up. I don't know if I missed something. It doesn't look like it.
He's probably put it on his stories or something.
Let's see if it's in tagged. No, those are at clients.
Yeah.
Guy, don't bring somebody to the show and then not have any pictures of them.
I'm trying to find where his fucking pictures are.
Oh, I see what this is. If you scroll down, look at all the adverts.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I saw. Guy.
What?
Just contractual agreement.
Okay. James, who do you got? We can't rate you.
It's my friend. If you take ARJ or ARG.
1 second. Let me check. Okay.
No, sorry. ARJ UNA. Second one down. This is my friend who I go to the cinema room every Thursday.
Oh wow!
And I said I'm going to get him in because he's brown like you. Literally today I said this. I said, well, if we do it today, so if you scroll down, there's some older pictures. This is obviously his lovely daughter, but there's some really good. Yeah, these ones here are pretty good. These are the old ones. All these ones.
Quads are good. He's got a long torso.
He has got. He's got a bit of a Nathan Dasher kind of build. Like he hasn't got the size of Nathan, but if he did, I think he could.
Well, the difference is Nathan's got really good lats to hide. So the long torso is a good thing if you have big quads, which he does, but you also need flaring lats.
Do you think
he also is like this?
Yes, he's putting his arms up.
I don't think it's because of that, though. I think
it definitely adds to it.
So he's got some pretty good thickness through the center, but he definitely needs more lat.
So this is a lat. So it's a lat width for Arjuna.
Yeah.
There's another. His quads are always. Oh, that's for progress pictures. So that's obviously from left to right is the progress.
Yes, quads definitely came up.
His legs are always peeled, always shredded. Like they're literally show ready all the time, even if his upper body's fat. They're hamstring there. He's not a bodybuilder, by the way. He has never competed. This is just standard how he looks. So this is just the geezer that likes to train. There's not loads of pictures. Sorry, there's only a few.
Honestly, from what I can see from what he's posted, my opinion is just needs more back.
Yeah.
If he just had a little bit more, because the rest of his body looks pretty balanced. I mean, he's got good legs.
His quads are always like,
His quads are like that all the time, right there.
Literally, yeah, on the right down, yeah, they're literally like always separated.
Right there.
So yeah, down the right.
Yeah,
they're always like that. So that left picture, bottom left, is how they always are.
Yeah, he's got good legs,
and they're dry as well. Like he gets really dry. But yeah, these are old. These pictures are well old. He's obviously a bit different now. But anyway,
what is it called when you're brown and dry? Is it like Middle Eastern dry? Is he Middle Eastern?
He's Sri Lankan, so
desert dry.
He's Sri Lankan.
Desert dry. Desert dry.
What's Sri Lankan dry? Like, how can we?
I like desert dry. That works.
So yeah, I think lats.
Yeah, that's all I see too. I think if he had more width in the lat and more thickness in the outer lat,
yeah,
his back would be more complete and it would look better from the front, because from the front it's just a long torso.
Yeah, it's a shame you can't really see how thick his chest is, because his chest is actually really thick.
No, there is a shot. I saw it was pretty good. There was a shot somewhere here.
He hasn't got a lot. I'm going to get him to start putting more pictures up from now on, so that we can come back, in time come. So that's how he's looking now, pretty much.
So see, when his arms are down, everything looks really balanced.
Yeah, it's the lats, so when arms are up.
But the front double always exposes everybody's weaknesses. And I think that's the only thing, is the torso.
Yeah.
Because the lat doesn't stick out enough, the torso looks even longer.
Yeah. Okay.
But
does he compete, James?
He just never has. He's not really. He's scared. He's scared of wearing a thong.
That changes my score. That gives him a higher score. The fact that
because I think he looks great for some. Like, you won't get many people with a better body that just go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the difference. Yeah. So
for somebody who doesn't compete, this is like a fucking 8.5.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and to be fair, when I look at him and I think of like retirement, eventually, I'm like, I'd love to fucking look like RJ.
Yeah.
It's a good look. So yeah, he'll be very happy with that, I think. So thank you.
This is probably what I'm going to look like when I fully admit that I've retired.
But that's a nice look.
By the time I drop, because I'm going to feel like what's he weigh? Like 200 pounds, 220?
Not even 200 pounds.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't be this small, but I'll be smaller. I'll be like this shape.
He's only 5'7".
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's got good physique.
He does.
Okay, boys. I think, should we wrap it up there or what?
How long have we even been going for? What does it say?
What's that?
How long have we been going for? I don't even know. I've lost all sense of time.
Just under 2 hours.
Yeah.
I got to get a pizza on order.
Okay, wait. One
Jamie,
second.
Just
no. Just really quick before you go. I just need to know from the three of you really quickly. We won't take a lot of time on it. Do you wipe sitting or standing?
Sitting.
Thank you.
But I tilt my hips. So I like wipe and then I look.
Yeah, of course you look.
You know what? I remember, James, we had this discussion on the size game all the years ago, and I could not fathom how men wipe their arse sitting down.
What?
But,
wait, why?
But flip it. I can't imagine wiping my arse standing up anymore.
So when did you used to stand?
So when did you stand and when did you convert?
I think it was I've been doing it for about
your whole life.
A year and a half.
What happened to Guy?
He spazzed out.
The fact that I sit down and wipe. But like you said on the podcast before, you're there and you're parted. So you can get a deep wipe.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's just perfect.
Okay, so
I hate how we're so trained on one side. Like I occasionally wipe my ass with my left hand to try and make sure I'm still as good with my left hand.
Ambidextrous.
Because you do need to be ambidextrous in life. Because what if we lose our right arm at one point?
Left lean, right wipe.
It feels so wrong, though.
Right wipe.
No, you can't. It's got to lean and wipe from the same side.
Yeah.
What?
How the fuck would you lean from the left and then wipe?
You lean right and wipe with the right. Yeah, so you go like that.
No, he's right. You right.
You can't lean and wipe.
You sit on your hand.
You lean.
There'll be no chance.
How do you do this? I'm doing it wrong, and I can't do this.
Can't get your hand in the toilet.
Yeah. You gotta do opposite.
So sorry. I'm sorry I ruined the whole podcast. I don't like talking about shit every podcast, but this has been, those guys made me feel stupid on the last podcast.
Could I just say something actually before we go?
Sure.
I shat myself the other day.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So I was on the way home from my sister's house. I was driving down the motorway, needed a piss. So I asked my kind of stepdad, Mark, to pull over. And I stood up and went for a wee against the wall and I farted. And it wasn't a fart. And I shat myself and there was nowhere to get changed. So I had to get into the car with shitty pants and sit. And I forced the pants up my ass and clenched my cheeks so that it wouldn't go anywhere. We drove to a station. I stopped and I ran to the toilet, and I pulled my trousers down and I pulled the pants out, and there was like creamy shit in there. Like, I don't know what the shit was. It was like cream. I'm gonna
edit this all out of the podcast.
We do whatever you want to do, but I'm just telling you, boys.
I don't want people to know that you shit your pants.
I don't care. I
talk about shitting my pants on the podcast.
I care for.
Bro, I grew up pissing in the bed, bro. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I talked about shitting my pants on the podcast. You didn't cut that out.
So I shat. But
that was a long time ago, though.
You know the foam on top of.
He's talking about like last week.
This is last week. There's like the foam on top of a coffee. My pants were filled with that, and I threw the pants away. But the problem was that because it was wet, it had gone through to the short. So my shorts had a round circle of damp. And I kid you not, I smelt the circle to make sure to see what I was saying.
Oh,
and the circle was terrible. And I had to go all the way home with those shorts on, and I felt awful. Got in, Yannick threw them in the bin.
What colour were the shorts, James?
They were camo shorts, so you couldn't tell, but fuck. And they were gasp ones as well. My green gasp ones with the zip pockets. Pissed. Terrible. Bad day that was. It was funny because, you know,
so
I find things like that funny.
Who was in the car?
My mum's old boyfriend. So I was like, I'm sorry, mate.
So you got in the car, you're like, shit my pants.
Later, I said, Mark, I've shot myself. And he went, oh, because he's not judgmental at all. He was just like, he didn't even make a fuss of it. Yeah, he was just like, oh, all right. Literally. So yeah, that was my fucking
journey. Did it stink
home.
in the car?
No, because my cheeks were really clenched. So I must have held the smell back.
No, it doesn't work like that.
It does. Listen. If you put something smelly in between your hand and hold it tight, you can block the smell.
It does not work like that.
And I did the same on my bum cheeks. I clenched so hard that there was no smell.
It doesn't work like that, man.
Well, listen, I couldn't smell it. He probably could then, but I couldn't smell it. And I felt like I had done a good job considering the situation. So, but it happens to me every few years. I shit myself every few years. I was walking, last thing I say, because I don't know, I'm keeping you, but I was walking home once and I remember getting to like the corner of where my house was. This was years ago. And my stomach just bubbled and I put my hand on the wall to have a breather and I just went, oh. And then all I saw was diarrhea coming out of my foot.
And
it was I was wearing trousers.
Oh my god!
They weren't even like I was wearing shorts. It was trousers.
Okay, I'm gonna delete this whole part. Okay.
No, got home. My mum.
Why would you delete it? It's just me.
Because I don't want people to think James shit his pants like yesterday.
Bro, I'll probably shit myself again next week. It's gonna happen. It is what it is. I'm not very.
Wait, I want to know who was the guy that wiped from back to back to front?
No, it was nobody. It was Nick and Ian wipe standing up.
What?
Nick and Ian wipe standing up.
How do you wipe standing up with your butt cheeks?
So does Chris Bumstead. So does.
Why are they making such effort?
So does Paulo's.
How?
It's not even the how. It's just why are you making that much effort?
I don't know.
How do you spread your butt cheeks enough to fucking wipe your butt?
They tilt forward, don't they? They definitely tilt forward.
They're crouching.
I don't think they're crouching.
Yeah,
they're doing this.
So they go like this.
That's exactly what they do.
They do this.
If you have to do that, it's so wrong. But you know what? It's because Nick's muscle bound.
Oh my god!
Nick's too muscle bound. Can't fucking wipe his ass. You know when they say bodybuilders can't wipe their ass? Nick literally is that big.
You guys are fucking retarded.
I think you've seen the size of Nick, for fuck's sake.
James.
Yeah, but his butt cheeks got to touch. In order to wipe, you got to spread them open.
Yeah, but he can't get his arm around his lat.
Yeah, well, how is that going to change standing up?
Because I bet he wipes in between his legs. I bet he does that. I bet he leans over and does that. That's the only way Nick's wiping his ass. Nick, confirm with me. I need to know. Questions are unanswered. I need answers.
I'm fucking crying.
Sorry, Jamie.
I'm fucking crying.
Jamie, what was you saying, bro? We need to change the subject. What was that what saying?
Who's the Tekken character that Nick looks like? Jax.
Oh, Jax. Fucking hell, yeah, he looks like Jax. He does look like Jax.
That character's built him.
Holy shit.
Jack 2 from Tekken 2.
I was sweating and crying at the same time.
I know, so am I. All right.
We'll leave it there. I think we should probably leave it there.
Okay. Thanks, Dave.
Oh,
Jamie, thanks for making the time, brother.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Enjoy your pizza after we've spoken that shit for the
Oh, God.
We'll talk next week.
See
you, boys.
Catch you soon.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.